Let's take a look at the Ancon QuickFoot FF product, cast-in insert. So basic format, let's describe this first. Obviously an enlarged foot for engagement with the concrete. We have a cross hole for coupling with a rebar. We'll describe that in a minute. And an internal thread. So typically metric internal threads in the range from M10 to M20, but may vary. Now the use of the cross hole. So with the use of the product for application in either a chair or in some of the other applications where we're doing far face installs, we'll put a crossbar, a short length of rebar through the cross hole. And what that does is a couple of things. It allows us to tie the assembly in this case. So if we look at a near face installation, we can tie the assembly to the reinforcement that's in the panel to keep it in position. Additionally, the rebar through the cross hole will prevent rotation of the insert. When we later come to use the product, apply torque to a bolt and create a turning moment in the bolt, which will try to turn the ferrule. The crossbar will prevent that. So taking a look at some of the accessories for use with the inserts. Firstly, for near face applications, very typically we have antenna caps. So antenna caps are used into the ferrule, directly into the thread. The concrete will be finished to the level of the antenna cap, and the little fingers, little antennae, will protrude out through the concrete so that we can find it and remove it later. For far face applications, we can make use of nailing plates. So a nailing plate will be nailed to the formwork, to the base form, or to an edge form if in timber. And we can use, additionally, they can be in the form of a glue nailing plate, so it'll have a glue patch on the back, enabling us to glue it down to formwork. And again, this will just cooperate with the ferrule, screw in, that's nailed to the base form to keep it in position and prevent it from moving during the pour. The inserts, threaded inserts, as you can see, are available in many sizes. So apart from the difference in sizes of diameter, they're available in different lengths as well, typically, and also different finishes. So in this particular case, we've got the zinc plated product, hot dip gel, and a stainless steel product. So check the availability of the different finishes with your supplier. In terms of the items required for installation, firstly, we'll need the documentation to make sure we understand the installation process and the capacities available and how to make use of the product, do the installation, etc. We'll need the correct insert, so make sure that the insert that we've got for the application is the one that's been specified. Nails and a hammer if we're doing any nail plate fixing for far face or edge form application. Fittings to suit our application, so nail plates or antenna cap accordingly, and short lengths of crossbar, typically N12 bar with the larger inserts to enable us to tie into the reinforcement and prevent subsequent rotation of the insert. For far face applications, as I mentioned, very simple case of position the nail plate, nail the nail plate down and install the insert into the nail plate, and then apply the crossbar through the hole to prevent subsequent rotation once we're using a bolt into the internal thread. In terms of near face installation, what we have is an assembly of a chair with the correct insert. That will give us a total stack height that is matched to our formwork and to our concrete item that we're pouring. The insert snaps into the chair from the back of the chair, so we simply drop it in, snap it in. We fit our crossbar through the insert hole, clip it into the little retainer tabs that are located on the side of the chair, and that now is complete assembly that stays as a single unit. That will go into our formwork, and we'll show some video of that in place with tie wire typically tying back to the mesh or other steel within the panel or concrete element. Let's take a look at the typical installation of a threaded insert, in this case in the far face application. Remembering we spoke about a couple of formats that we've got available to us for, or accessories available to us for this application. Firstly, the nailing plate, available to us with 2 nail holes to fix down to the form. And then the other format is the glue-on nail plate. In this case, instead of screw-on, it's press fit, and that helps it come out easier once you strip the form. A couple of key things, obviously, in any of these applications for anything we're doing that is cast in, is to make sure that we get the position right first time. Obviously, once we pour concrete, we don't get a chance to reposition, so getting the measurements right now is very critical. In this case, what I've got here is I've got a dimension ruled in, a cross line, which gives us the dimension from edge form here and this way. Obviously, we want to check that just to make sure it's as per the spec. We do need 200 mil this way, and we're seeing 200 mil. And the other dimension I've previously checked. Line up the insert, nail holes with the line, center the other line in the direction, using the nails and the hammer, fix it to the form, and we're done. I won't actually do the install in this case. We're going to be doing a near face application for this panel. Alternatively, same scenario for the press fit nail on plate. Press it in, place it down, line up the markers on the plate with the square lines, and we're good to set it and get going. That's our far face installation for threaded inserts. Next, we'll move on to take a look at removal of the antenna cap and application of the bolt into the installed ferrule that we installed earlier. Let's take a look at preparing the Ancon QuickFoot insert for use. So now we've poured the concrete 2 days ago. Obviously, we've had a little bit of work done on the slab to strip some of the concrete away from the antenna cap. Obviously, to remove that now, simply a matter of getting with the pliers and removing. It's a simple press fit only. And then subsequent to that, we would take the appropriately sized metric bolt of the right size, in this case M20, and place into our insert through our fixture. Now, importantly, with the bolt length, we need to make sure that we have a bolt length that's adequate to achieve strength, which is a minimum length inside the ferrule. It's usually 1.5 times thread diameter, so in this case it would be 30 millimeters of engagement, but not so long that we bottom out in the insert and leave the fixture floating. Once we have that in place, obviously, we then apply torque correctly with the appropriate torque with a torque wrench.